Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and this is Video Game Month, where I am rambling with articulation, I hope, about a variety of musical video and otherwise audio-related things that I see in videos, and this month all to do with video game music. And today I am super excited to be bringing a video I've been holding off on. I've been really keen to get to this, but this is going to be Sleeping in the Cold Below, as covered by VoicePlay. The reason this one took me a little time was I decided that for Video Game Month I was going to take one of the songs I didn't know and put it into context for myself. By which I mean I was going to play through the game it was in and get there. And in that case, this game is Warframe. I didn't realize how far into the game I would have to go as a brand new player to actually get this. So I put in 1 or 2 hours to get to this point over the period of a little while. And it was surprisingly challenging, and every time I thought I was about to get there, something else popped up that I was going to have to do before I got to this point in the game. But I made it. I was originally thinking I might do this with We All Live Together, which I covered the Longest John's version of a couple of weeks back, but that actually crept up on me in the game before I was ready for it. It was a piece of music that was embedded into the base game. I didn't realize how early it came, and I couldn't really... although I had reached it, I wasn't ready to do all of the Video Game Month content yet. So I settled on this, and I'm glad I did. It is a phenomenal piece of music. The original, that is. Of course, I haven't heard VoicePlay's version yet. Written by Keith Power, Alan Doyle, and Greg Hawco, and it features the prime lead singer for this is Davenant Doyle, and it also features the Ennis sisters, Erin Collis and Alan Doyle, and all of those musicians and Keith himself, although he now lives down in LA, are from Newfoundland here in Canada. That's the east, out on the East Coast. And so it makes complete sense, being in the Maritimes, that this would be a sea shanty, essentially, would be created, except it's a space shanty, because we're in space, and it's amazing. For my Video Game Month videos, I have been giving some context early on in the videos for some of them. I'm not going to do that this time, other than to simply give you a very brief précis. What you'll actually find in this video is at the end of this video, I will have cut up into lots of bits. I videoed myself. So this takes place as part of a mission that was added to the game a little while ago. And I play the whole thing through. It took about, I don't know, 45, 50 minutes, something like that, and videoed the entire thing, and I'm going to cut up a few choice comments and thoughts and things so that they will build together to give you the context of this song, and then actually play at the end of the video me playing through the entire point in the game where this song plays. So you'll actually get the in-game context. I thought that might be a bit of fun, something a little bit different. But the briefest of explanations is that this comes in a mission called the Call of the Tempestarii. You are the super brief version of this is that you are a Tenno, who is a character who is able to control and manipulate warframes, which are essentially like small mechs. They're human size, but they're basically mechs. And you go out there and complete missions. One of the things you can do is fly around space in what's called a railjack, which is sort of a small fighter craft, essentially. And there is one of those called the Tempestarii that is somewhere in the void and has been missing for a very long time. Enter Captain Vala Glorios, who is played by Davenant Doyle. Who is a member of the Corpus, one of the factions, who has been hunting this thing down ever since she was a sole survivor of an attack by it while it was on a rescue mission. This is the dumbed-down version of this. And she's been hunting it down to destroy it, and you intervene to try and save it. If you would like to see more about that, check the end of the video out, where you will see me playing through the mission. But For now, we're going to be checking out VoicePlay's version of it, and I am super excited to see what they do with this. So just before we jump into all of that, I will say welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, the way this works, there's obviously that added section at the end. But the way this works is I'm going to watch it through from beginning to end. I will comment and emote over the top of it, but I won't stop it. Then I will go back, watch it a second time, and this time I will pause, I will interrupt, and I will offer what commentary and analysis I feel I can, based on what I've seen and heard, and the foreknowledge of having seen their video once before. If you would care to do so, please like this video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you'd like to donate to support the channel, I would be very, very grateful, and you can do so in 3 ways. You can head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can make a one-off donation. You can go to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, where you can sign up for $2 Canadian per month, which gives you access to my Discord. Or you can leave a super thanks here on YouTube. And I do have a few thanks to issue, because I've had a few very generous folks leave me some things recently. So I would like to say thank you to Karina Rodebeck, to Rachel, to Starry Night Diner, all of whom have bought me coffees recently. Thank you very much indeed for that. And also to Ms. Chuck and Uli, who recently joined my Patreon. Thank you to all of you. I am so very grateful to for your support, and to my continued patrons as well. I am very, very grateful indeed, and I hope that you continue to enjoy my content as I produce it. I think that's everything for now, so without any further delay, let's enjoy VoicePlay's cover, featuring incidentally Omar Cardona. This is VoicePlay's cover of Sleeping in the Cold Below from Warframe. Okay.
So it's into the void now, me girls and me boys, from mothers' hands
Yes.
we go. We'll be sailing to the sun.
I
till
love the
voyage
costumes.
is done, then we'll be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below.
Woo! Hello, Jeff.
Ship is for the hard and the quick. We roll our load and go. There's a living to be made, or there's hell to pay when you're sleeping in the cold below.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Sleeping in the cold below.
Woo! Hello, bass riff. Oh, this is awesome.
Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the
Nice.
deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below. There's a man on high.
Oh,
with the devil
love
in
it.
his eye and a golden hand
This
down
backdrop
the
too, the
pole.
LED backdrop is
You can
phenomenal.
kick you or console you when you're sleeping in the cold below. Oh, sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below.
Woo! Hello!
Below, below,
Goodness me.
where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below, below.
Oh.
Sisters, you so wise and true, and it's my time to go. Won't you lay
I love the drop back
down
there.
the granum crowns, and I'll be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below.
Oh, that's interesting. I love that sound. Oh, this video is so good.
Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep.
Yes, Omar.
Sleeping in the cold bed. Sisters below, below, going where the winds don't blow.
Wow, this is so cool. The amount of layering they've got going on. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, wow. Oh, that's... This room they are recording in is so cool. Oh, that's... Oh, missed it. Damn it. I don't have YouTube... what is it called? Red? No, not Red. Premium? I don't have YouTube Premium, so I get ads. I'm just going to let that slide away underneath. Oh, smokes, that's good. They have... What's interesting is they've kind of stayed true to some of the elements of the original and broken away from others, and it's something that they do a lot, but I really, really like the balance that they've struck in this. They've kept it sounding quite electronic, quite space age. They've obviously done that with the costumes as well, but the sort of, in the nature of the shanty style, the original's a bit more of a dirge. It's kind of Vala singing about the revenge that she has sworn, and I'm going to go and do this thing even if it kills me, essentially. Whereas this kind of being a little bit more upbeat, it's got kind of a bit more of a less fatalistic approach to it, which is actually really, really interesting. I like this. I just want to see, before I put the screen back up again, is there any cool information in their descriptions? Arrangement by Jeff and Rob Dietz. Video by Jeff. Audio by Ed. Production manager Kathy, of course. Steady cam Andy Montrejo, I think I've seen his name a bunch, and Andrew Cox as the assistant. Production assistant Francesca Buisa. I think I've tripped over that name before. Apologies. Anything else? I don't think so. That's just facts about them. Okay, yes. Yeah, that's incredible. That is really, really incredible. I really like what they've done with that. I think that's an amazing arrangement. I think, I'm going to be honest, when I played the game through, We All Live Together kind of hit me slightly harder than Sleeping in the Cold Below did. Sleeping on the Cold Below, I think, is also growing on me immensely. I've been listening to it a lot. But the immediate impact of We All Live Together was a little bit bigger. I think that's just personal preference. But this version, this I love. And I think this is really, really cool. I think it's the other thing maybe that works slightly against Sleeping in the Cold Below's in terms of that sort of thing is you play the whole way through it. It is gameplay time, not cutscene time. Whereas We All Live Together is going through a cutscene. If any of you are not gamers, it means that while Sleeping in the Cold Below is playing, you are actively fighting off a bunch of bad guys. Whereas while We All Live Together is playing, you're watching a video that plays out without you having any input. So you're able to kind of immerse into it a little bit more, and I think that might be probably why it struck me harder immediately. But the more I listen to Sleeping in the Cold Below as an individual song, the more it is climbing up that very, very small gap between the two of them, because they are both phenomenal songs. This version of Sleeping in the Cold Below is fantastic. Really, really enjoyed this. I think what they haven't done, and I'm glad they didn't, was they didn't try and kind of capture Davnet's performance when she's singing the Vala. She sings it, there's kind of like a keening quality to her performance, so you'll hear if you watch the bit at the end of the video. Or indeed, I will have linked in the description not only to VoicePlay's original video, I will also link to the Warframe original video. So you can go and check out it's not really a video, it's just a splash screen of the quest, because obviously there's no music video to go with it because it takes place during combat. But it is such an impactful piece of music. But they didn't try and stick with that, and I'm glad, because I think what they've done with it suits them much better than trying to stick to the tone of the original. So let's go back to the beginning of this, watch this again, and see what I can tease out of it, which I feel like is going to be a lot, because there was so much going on. First off, I love this as a starting point. Just this view of 5 guys dressed all in like black tactical gear with different styles of helmet. I particularly like that Lane has the helmet with the blue circle on the front. So a lot of the characters that you meet in and around Corpus missions, Corpus, as I said earlier, being one of the factions in the game, have had elements of themselves replaced by machinery. So they might have a mechanical arm, a mechanical leg, a chest plate or something like that. But the majority of them have had their heads also replaced, and so they have kind of robotic heads, and they have blue elements on them that flash as they are speaking or singing or whatever they're doing. As they are vocalizing, this blue light comes on, and so I like that they're kind of paying tribute to that as well. I was also trying to establish, and I don't remember the look of it well enough, I'm actually just going to hide this again and go and check whether this is... No, okay. I played the section of the game a few weeks ago, and so my brain was elsewhere, but now that I have looked at her ship again, no, it is absolutely not that. They've just used a sort of similarly styled ship design, like in terms of the angles and all that kind of thing, which is cool. I really, really like that they're using this imagery behind them, but I guess they would have had to have been sponsored by Digital Extremes in order to be able to use the footage from the game. But I really, really like what they've done with this, and the projection, the fact they've got the projection behind them, but they're also seeing it on the floor. There's kind of something very holistic about that, which, you're seeing the image of the ship in two different places, but particularly when it goes to the images of space, seeing it kind of spread on multiple surfaces is really cool.
So it's into the void.
I love the simplicity of removing a helmet as each individual starts performing. Obviously, Lane is beatboxing a little bit before he does it, but it's just kind of a cool introduction to each member as we go. Also love the fact that I think Jeff is not wearing contacts, but everybody else is, and I like that we get that kind of the look of there's something different about the eyes, there's something futuristic about them. That's very, very cool. I love the tone Lane is hitting here. The sound of the drums that he's using for this section of beatboxing, it's kind of got that sense of maritime quality to it. It doesn't sound like a kit. It doesn't sound like, something he would do for, a rock song or a pop song. It's a very distinctive sound of drum. And I think the way that they've mixed that, but also the sound that he is producing, is perfect for this song.
So it's into the void now, me girls and me boys, from mothers' hands we go. We'll be sailing to the sun.
Now, one thing of note, firstly, I love that they start with Jeff with this, because it gives you that lovely moment he's about to hit in a second where he goes right down to the bottom and then drones slightly with that final note so that everyone else can come in, if I recall correctly. But another point of note is they're taking this much faster than the original. And I think that actually works. They're keeping the pace. There's a certain degree throughout the song that Davnet and the groups, the folks that are singing with her, and the musicians have a bit of give and take, to the point where there's some points where it literally cuts back to her, slows right down. There's a lot of change of tempo, a lot of change of emotion. They're just keeping it going with this, which kind of gives it a little bit more of a... you get the story through the song, but it is not so much attempting to tell it through emotion as it is just telling it through lyrics. And I think that actually works for the group vibe that they have going on here, but also for what they've adopted in terms of the pacing that they're taking it at. I think it's a smart decision for them. Yeah, I just love that we're starting with Jeff here, and kind of leading into everybody else. And again, this plays into this thing I keep talking about of layering. We start low, we add layers on top. Very, very effective.
So it's into the void now, me girls and me boys, from mothers' hands we go. We'll be sailing to the sun till the voyage is done, then we'll be sleeping in the cold below, sleeping in the cold below.
And that's the whole thing of going right down there is different. It's the sleeping in the cold below is the way that they sing it in the original. So Jeff below, going down there, and then obviously the sleeping in the cold below as he goes right down into his boots at that point in time. It's just taking it to a slightly different direction and setting it up immediately of we're getting something different. We're getting something that is going to use more breadth than the original, and we're setting it up for a different vocal ensemble, which is really cool.
Below, sleeping in the cold below.
Our sailing ship is for the hard and the quick. We roll our load and go. There's a living to be made on this hell.
That's a nice touch too. The roll a load and go. And then the cutout for the and go. And then boom, as he comes back in again, we get the full harmony. Very, very effective. Again, immediately taking liberties with embellishments and things like that, which is great. We're setting it into their vibe because we've already got that kind of shanty-ish percussion going on. We've set up what we're going to be doing with Jeff kind of taking it just a little bit off piste, and now with Omar we go somewhere completely different. Now it's like, okay, we're getting a unique take on this, and it's fantastic.
Even in the cold below.
Our sailing ship is for the hard.
That's
Sleeping in the
just want to see one thing if I can stop it.
Our
I love this transition where you kind of, it's almost like a cartoon explosion kind of thing with just the lines splaying out from the center of the image as we cut from the ship back into the sort of galaxy background. That's really, really cool. Little things like that, the transitions between it, it's the kind of thing that you might not give a passing thought to, but it adds a tiny, tiny little bit of effect in that if you pick up on it, this is awesome. I mean, what a cool background behind them. This could be a background in and of itself. Love it.
sailing ship is for the hard and the quick. We roll our load and go. There's a living to be made or there's hell to pay. When you're sleeping in the cold below.
I love how we've introduced the harmony here with Caesar and Ellie coming in, sort of supporting Omar. But it's not trying in any way, shape or form to kind of be next to him in the mix. It is very much behind. Excuse me. And so we have this sense that he is still at the front of this thing, supported by the rhythm section, and the harmony is kind of still finding its, not finding its way, that's the wrong way to put it, but it's deliberately being kept back in the mix so that it can come forward as we go through the song, and I really, really like that choice.
When you're sleeping in the cold below. Sleeping in the cold below.
That transition too. That's so cool. I love that we get the simplicity of Omar.
There's a living to be made or there's hell to pay. When you're sleeping in
Oh, sorry. I went back one step further than I meant to. But that rhythm there that the harmony's singing.
and go. There's a living to be made or there's hell to pay. When you're sleeping in the cold.
Hell's to pay. That's a really, really nice rhythm to use underneath. And I love it where the lyric of the song is there is hell to pay, but they then sing hell's to pay. They abbreviate it down. They make it, they're still saying the same thing, but they've adapted it to fit into a shorter thing without losing words. It's not just hell to pay without there is, or there's hell pay, or something like that. They're still functionally saying, you know, it's a slightly wonky sentence, but more or less it is still a sentence. And they've kept that in there. I like the fact that they adjusted those words very slightly. That's an awesome thing.
Below. Sleeping in the cold below.
We've got this awesome splash screen. These are so cool. I love this backdrop. Damn. But I love that we've got this sleeping in the cold below, low, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Jeff has his thing, but first of all, we have Omar on his own. We pull everything back out. Omar he's had a couple of beats, but having that line on his own there without even Lane or Jeff underneath backing him up, it just kind of exposes the key line of the song, sleeping in the cold below. Then we add the embellishment back in to bring it down. Jeff started the song originally in terms of melody or in terms of like having a melodic content, where Lane is obviously just producing percussive sounds. So it makes sense to have him lead us back in again. And then as we have this kind of explosion behind them, as we transition again to a different backdrop, we also get this explosion of harmony coming out as they go into this sort of bridge section here. I love it.
Below. Sleeping in the cold below.
And this is kind of unique to them. That whole vocalized section there is not something that you get in the original. I really, really like what they did with that. I also like that all of a sudden, as we go into Sisters Below Below, we hit the chorus of the song. The backdrop now changes from a fundamentally blue color to a fundamentally pinkish, reddish color. I love that we are changing the color spectrum at this point because it adds a different meaning to the chorus. It suddenly gives us this sense that there is a shift happening. And there is in the nature of the song, because the way that Vala performs it, the way that it is sung, is there's a more direct kind of this is the story. Whereas now when she's singing Sisters Below Below, it's a little bit more to her sisters who did not survive after the Tempestarii attacked the platform that she was on. It's her singing to them. And so you do have that subtle shift, and I really like that they've done that by changing the backdrop up at that point.
Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be...
I love that at this point in time, too, Lane is singing with them. The percussion drops out. I think there was one hit.
Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds...
There's one bass drum hit there, but otherwise he's singing with them. And I really like that, because this is an emotional thing. We're going where the winds don't blow. Well, where do the winds not blow when you're at sea? Under it. Right? Is that what I'm getting from this? Like, if this were a sea shanty, it would be, sisters, we're going out to do this thing, or we're going to end up in Davy Jones, or maybe we're going to end up in Davy Jones' locker anyway, because this is not a mission that we're going to be coming back from. Is that what I'm getting from this? I think it might be, and that's really powerful.
Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below.
And then, of course, you have it there. We're all bound down to the deep. Now it's just flatly stated, we're going down there. That's where we're going to end up. And at the same time, there is also a sense of we're going into the depths. We're going into not necessarily... we're going into the depths of this search as well. We are going to find this, ghost ship that is out there in the void somewhere. We are going to go and find this thing no matter what. We're going deep into the void. It could also mean that. I love that we have this layered meaning in these lyrics. It's so cool. But again, still no percussion at this point. Just this really rich chorus harmony that they're giving us. Just kind of really emphasizing the emotion behind what's being sung here. I love it so much.
Down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below. Sleeping in the cold below.
Also, it's nice at this point that the harmony, in fact, the whole musical register of the entire group is lower. Nobody is kind of like doing, we don't have Rock God Ellie here or Omar at the top of his embellishments kind of giving us those high notes. None of that's present. They're actually all quite low in their register. And so it's brought down the tone for a moment. And while they don't go to the kind of dirge-like quality that you get with the original, this is kind of like their touch to that, I think. Is they're giving us this low down, this darker quality of the song. It's fantastic.
I'll be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below. There's a man on high with the devil.
I love the simplicity. Perfect place to stop it. I was just going to say I love this little thing of having these flickers. They did this within the Air Tonight as well, where they added video filters to kind of give it some sort of an effect. In that case, we were going towards like the past VHS, crackly video days. This, it's more like a slightly broken transmission. Like this is being sent through space and it's arrived, but it's a little bit fragmented at points, and so we get these sort of weird impressions. I like this.
Sleeping in the cold below. There's a man.
Also notice we now have a new primary color in the background. Now we're orange. We've changed, and notice that the quality of this is sort of eye-like. You have this big, round, it's almost like rings of a planet or something like that, or like I'm wondering if this is kind of like black hole-ish, leaning into the void slightly with this black center, and it has the quality of an eye. And what are they singing? There's a man on high with the devil in his eye. That's really cool. I love it.
Below, below, sleeping in the cold below. There's a man on high with the devil in his eye and a golden hand, I'm told.
This, incidentally, is a character in the game. This is Parvos Granum, who is a character who literally has a hand made of gold. He lost his hand and had it replaced. And he lives in a place called the Granum Void. And his name is going to come back a little bit later on in this song, possibly in this verse, I forget. But they are actually literally referring to a character in the game.
Man on high with the devil in his eye and a golden hand, I'm told.
I love this accompaniment. This I can't obviously do what they're doing because there's multiple of them doing it. But what an effective little sound underneath this. It's still giving Caesar some similar space to what Omar... English, David. It is giving Caesar a similar amount of space to that Omar had in the previous verse, but it's giving him a busier background that still isn't intruding, but there's a lot happening back there if you listen to it.
There's a man on high with the devil in his eye and a golden hand, I'm told. It can hurt you, it can hold you, he can kick you or console you when you're sleeping in the cold below. Oh, sister.
That's extraordinary. That change that's going on there. First off, I love that they join in initially with the he can kick you or console you. Those lines, they're singing the whole thing, and then you get when you're sleeping in the cold, and they come in kind of like a round a little bit later.
Sleeping in the cold below.
Cold below. That shift there, and then going into Sisters. Out of that, you don't think that's where it's going to go, because that's such an unexpected chord shift, and yet that is exactly what they're going into right now. This is so good.
Can hold you, he can kick you or console you when you're sleeping in the cold below. Oh, sisters, below, below. We're going where the winds don't blow.
What's interesting to me here is the melody, Sisters below, below, oh, excuse me, over my break, is not very present at this point. They're kind of focusing more on this harmonic construction that they've put underneath this thing, and it's really, really effective. You don't need the melody at this point. We've heard it. We know what it does. It's kind of cool to hear something different.
Stars below, below. We're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below. Sleeping in the cold below.
Woo-hoo-hoo! And that is so almost completely to the original until Ellie just takes off and goes into the stratosphere with that riff. That is so very cool, and how impactful at that point. We're going to go straight back into Sisters, but we're going in with energy pumped way up because we just had that amazing sort of rock growl from Ellie way up there. Also, again, I love these backgrounds so much. This lovely kind of blue swirly galaxy look, then going into the multiple planets, I think it is, that we're about to hit. The graphic design behind this is phenomenal. Really, really good. And I love the impact. I haven't talked about this yet. I'm trying to decide whether the lighting that is on them is also lighting, which I think it probably is, or if there is a degree of it that is also coming off the LED screen. Because they are matching it here, and I haven't been paying attention to it properly. But I love how the lighting is catching certain elements. We've got little bits of focus here and there. Caesar's right eye right now, it's catching the contact lens and kind of giving it that electronic ice blue look going on. You know, there's lovely shading on Ellie's face where it's like, and Omar actually, or most of them. But for those two, it seems to stand out where you have the blue on one side and the white like on the other side. There's these lovely blends, this sort of two-sided thing of having this great sadness, but this great determination to go ahead as well. There's a very human element to both, but I like that you could almost see that in some of the lighting that's going on here. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below. Sleeping in the cold below. Sisters below.
Okay, no, that's definitely lighting. It's not. There's a little influence from the screen, but it's still the same color blue, and yet the background is completely different. So that is very, very effective lighting there that's been done. Anyway, jumping back a section because I was looking at that.
Sleeping in the cold below. Sisters below, below. We're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all
I really like, too, the way that the camera is moving in this. It's very dynamic, but it's not like it's sweeping across the front and covering whole swathes of space. It's just, it never stops moving, and then we cut to another angle, and it's moving a different way, and then cut, and it's moving a different way. There's constant motion here, and it's just very, very effective because it keeps up with the song. Like, the song is moving so quickly, it makes sense for the camera to be moving with it, and that's exactly what it's doing. It's really cool.
Below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below.
It also, notice how they're choosing to cut in the editing as well. This has actually been really beautifully edited, where, if I jump back a section...
Below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound
we're kind of every 2 beats, we're cutting.
down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold.
And there we have beat, 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 as we go to each member of the group, and then we snap back to the group shot. Lovely. I love this so much. This section right here, this is different again, and I love how it kind of, you sense it starting to pull everything back a little bit. Just the below, there's the words become longer. Below particularly, which is so often sleeping in the cold below. It's below, extending that the bear, out to fill more space is a really effective way of just putting the brakes on slightly, even though the tempo of the song doesn't change.
Below, sleeping in the cold below, below, below.
Sisters, you so wise and true.
And there it is. That feeds into then pulling right back. We've gone back to Jeff and some ooze, so we've really changed the tone of the song for a minute here. This is so cool. Actually, I want to listen to this one more time.
The cold below, below, below.
Sisters, you so wise and true, and it's my time to go.
I love, actually, that change as they go into Jeff.
Sisters,
Blow, whoa, whoa. They don't end on the whoa. It's a whoa. There's a little in the sound there, and it just kind of, it's that effect of putting the brakes on for a second, because it would have been easy to do whoa and stop, cut it, and go into the new section, but they give it just a little sound on the end there, just to feed off and just bleed away some of the energy from the whoa, which is quite a strong sound, to the whoa, the whoa. It just pulls it back very slightly.
you so wise and true, and it's my time to go. Won't you lay me down under granum crowns, and I'll be sleeping in the cold below.
This is so beautiful. I love the harmony that's going under here, where it's Vala saying, you know, this is what I want you to do once I'm done with this world. Granum crowns, incidentally, I said Parvos Granum was going to come back at a later point. Granum crowns are a particular type of coin in the game that are protected by treasurers. Once you've got to the point in the game where they start being a thing, treasurers sometimes pop up for a short period of time, and if you can take one out before he disappears, you will get a Granum crown. You can then use that to enter the Granum Void. I haven't really done that much in the game, so I can't say much more than that. But that is they are a type of coin, and I'm wondering, given the nature of sea shanties and how the time that they stemmed from originally, I wonder if there is a thing here of the putting the coins over the eyes as sort of something that is done as part of a burial ritual. Maybe that's the direct reference there. I'm not 100% sure. But that would make sense. Lay me down under Granum crowns. Lay me down, put the coins over my eyes. I'm not sure. I'm also not 100% sure how big a Granum crown is. The pickup in the game is quite large, but that might just be representative. It might not be the actual size of the coin. So anyway, take that for what it is, but once again, they are referencing something that is in the game.
Lay me down under granum crowns, and I'll be sleeping in the cold below, sleeping in the cold below.
I love that so much. We get that sleeping in the cold below. This time Jeff does drone on it. He just holds it on for a while we have this cool sort of electronic sound coming from Lane, and then crashing in comes the harmony. Really nice stuff. And again, as we do that, we have this switch from the blue to the orange in the background, this change of the color scheme that's going on around them. The way they're using color and the effects that are producible by this LED screen during this song it's just brilliant. I love also that we still have these very electronic elements. Something VoicePlay has been playing with a lot recently, but very appropriate for this song. I love what's going on. I should also say very appropriate for this setting. Not specifically for this song. This song isn't particularly electronic in the game, but in fact it's not electronic. It's very, very much kind of like folk acoustic. But it suits the Warframe setting. I love this whole thing where we have these flowing O's, like leading us through this kind of wailing type sound, and then you have this whoa, 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 as it punches back into sisters once more. Very, very effective. They're giving us so much variety, even as they are not modifying things that are modified in the original. They're doing it a different way.
Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep.
I love that we're getting this like we have right at the beginning here.
Sisters below, below.
We've got these lovely low notes from Jeff, excuse me. Joff? It's not Joff.
Going where the winds don't blow.
Like right down there, and yet at the same time, we have to go where the winds don't blow. Coming from Omar, way up top. The breadth of this arrangement is now at its peak here, where you have those two sounds happening simultaneously so far apart from each other. It's, so good.
Stars below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold bed. Stars below.
I love that so much. You get this kind of descant coming from Omar the whole way through that, where he's singing this line over the top, still with the same lyrics, but just doing his own thing. And then you have that abrupt cut back into sisters.
Down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold bed. Sisters.
And you get, I like that it's not straight in, sleeping in the cold bed, sisters, sleeping in the cold bed, sisters. You get that hit from Lane that just kind of feeds it in and breaks that a little bit. And it feels less abrupt as a result, and yet it still has the punchiness of we're coming into this early. It's really effective.
I'm down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold bed. Sisters below, below, going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll.
And notice how active the camera is now. Like, it's really cutting a lot. It's picked up a little bit from when I was last talking about it. I haven't been super keeping an eye on that, but I love that as we're coming to the end of the song, it's so punchy.
Going where the winds don't blow. Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below. Sleeping in the cold, sleeping in the cold below.
This is so good. That build through that section is incredible.
Yeah, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below.
Up to that point, you know, obviously they're being much more adventurous with the harmony and sort of descanty line that's going on, but still exactly what we were expecting, and this is where it changes. I love those changes that we have there. I love that you have the sleeping in the cold held on, and just a second one, just the two, but you still get a lot of texture from it. And then here, cold, we've got going on there from, I think, is that Ellie? Yeah, that's from Ellie. And then cold. Just that simple. Ellie has this huge slide up, and then I guess it's Omar just says, oh, but timed together with Ellie's jump, it gives it this much more epic feel as we rise up that chord. Really well structured. Beautiful part of the arrangement there. Damn! What a finish! Like these absolute belters up top there. So high up, and then you have just Jeff plummeting downwards. This is so good. That is so cool. Ugh, that is really, really good. They absolutely killed that. I may cut here. I just want to try and find... There's one line I was looking for, and I didn't hear it happen. So I'm just going to jump back and see if I missed it. No, so I think they cut it, which is absolutely fine, because there's a section at the end where Vala kind of takes it much slower and more pulled back, and I don't think they sing that verse. And I think it makes sense, because the way that it's sung... and the way that the sort of meaning behind that verse, I think, wouldn't quite fit this style. So I think that makes sense to me. Anyway, was just making sure I didn't miss something silly there, but... Holy smokes, VoicePlay! You killed that! That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I love it. You did a fantastic job with that song. Yeah, that was everything I could have hoped for and more when I heard they were doing it. And that's actually also... making me, I could feel it making me love the original more as well, which is awesome, because the original is such a good song, and I love the fact that the two of them are now kind of going to feed each other a little bit, and I will get more out of each by listening to the other, I think. That's really cool, but they killed this. That was phenomenal. Very, very well done. I know a few folks have been waiting for me to cover this one, so that it hasn't so much been recommended. I mean, it has been recommended by a lot of people, as things always are when they freshly come out, but it hasn't sort of been targeted per se, other than it was new. But my goodness, this was fantastic, and I hope that everybody who said they wanted me to do this enjoyed that video, and I hope you enjoyed that video, even if you are not one of those folks. My goal here is always to bring something new to the table, whether that is VoicePlay. Go check them out if it is. Whether it is Warframe, actually genuinely fantastic game. And as I said in the Longest Johns We All Live Together video I did a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't have played a game like this because it is fully online until I heard that there was a button that says, nope, let me play by myself. And as soon as I could turn that mode on, I actually really enjoyed my time. I confess, I noticed my time on it has dropped off since I passed Sleeping in the Cold Below, because that was kind of my big target. But it is still a phenomenal game. This song, whether you're a Warframe or a VoicePlay supporter, I mean, isn't this great? Or you know this back to front, and I just gave you one little bit of perspective. You hadn't had one view on something you hadn't had before, and if I've even managed that, then that's a win for me. So I hope that you enjoyed this, especially if you're still here with me. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really, really appreciate it. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you would like to donate to support the channel, that would be wonderful. You can do so at buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts or patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or with a super thanks right here on YouTube, and any of those very gratefully received, although no pressure, of course, to do so. This is the last video in April, but it is not the final video of Video Game Month. There is going to be one more on Friday. So do tune in for that, for the finale of Video Game Month 2024. And I hope that you enjoy that. I absolutely love this. What I will say is please stick around if you are interested. There is going to be, after I say farewell, there will be this sort of cut-up rendition of, or like sort of exploration of me going through the Call of the Tempestarii quest, including the full footage of me playing through the section where Sleeping in the Cold Below actually plays. So that if you happen to be interested, it won't be that long because I'll have cut it down. But I do hope that you enjoy that. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Have an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, I don't know, 10:30 p.m. Whatever time it happens to be, whenever you're watching this, you take care, and I will see you in the next video. And I'm going to hand it over to Past David for some footage from Warframe. All right, bye for now. Okay. What is that?
Potential catastrophic sensor glitch. Visual confirmation required. Crew, did you see that?
Yes. Oh, I do enjoy piloting the Railjack. It's a lot of fun. Oh, that's a nice touch. Octavia's plume, when you zoom in, it disappears so that you can see over the head of the Warframe. That's awesome.
Crew, sensor glitch is back. Stay sharp. This
Uh-oh.
may not be a bug.
Into the shield again.
Alert. Void storm imminent.
Uh-oh.
Orders reinforcements imminent. Obligatory withdrawal imminent. This escalated quickly.
Cephalon Psy has a very good sense of humor for a robot.
Captain Vala Glarios. So pleased to meet you.
Why do I feel the feeling is not
I should have expected
reciprocated?
rats among the flotsam. Sequester that railjack for Parvos.
Okay, nice try.
Gunfight not an option. Isolating escape corridor.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have to gunfight until you do that.
Anomaly detected.
Uh-oh. Oh great, they've got torpedoes. Wonderful. What's going on here? That's a railjack.
Phosphine cliffs. That takes me back.
Okay, so those are old, because we know Cephalon Psy is quite old. Who are you and why are you here?
I see you, you bastard. I see you.
Does she know who this is? Ah!
Contact Parvos Granum immediately.
Does she know who this is?
Authorization for multiphasic ordnance. Tell him I found the damned ghost.
Okay.
Isolating escape corridor.
Yeah.
All hands. Evasive maneuver.
Can you hurry up on that, please? I don't think I want to be here very long.
Escape corridor locked. Grab something.
Okay, that was...
Larios knows something about that vessel.
Yeah, I got that.
Crew, infiltrate and recover Orokin era naval records.
Okay.
Our ghost ship has a name. I want it.
Is that it? That's it.
Strategic targets eliminated. Time for the main event.
Okay, going. Woo! Please tell me my railjack cannot be hurt while I'm in here. Oh, good, it can't. Ah. This is going to attract everybody, but it's also going to destroy everybody, I think. Ah, you stinker. No alarms. I should also, while I'm doing this, say thank you to, it was Sweet Cuddlefish, I think, who brought the existence of Octavia to my attention. Because the idea that programming music is what makes this character stronger is so cool. Oh, it's this one.
Our vessel was called the Tempestarii. Void rescue craft. Missing since the old war.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like that should be Tempestarii. I think you do you not repeat? No, maybe not. I did look into it. The Tempestarii could command storms. Hence the appropriateness, I guess, of the Void Storm in this. I like it. Oh, this room. I hate this room. Whoa! Whoa! Oof. Oh, is it here? Yes, it is. Hello. Sleeping in the Cold Below, Part 1, found. Excellent. One more, which I believe is in the next mission.
Exemplary service record. Rescue total 2,017 souls. Cited for bravery in the second and third Tharsis engagements. Multiple commendations. A legend.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it did some good work. Here we go.
Lost during a void storm of unprecedented magnitude. Interesting. Final mission contains a black mark. Refusal to withdraw. Logs record final transmissions. Calling into the void before being engulfed.
Oh.
She has been calling ever since. The Tempestarii went down saving lives.
I mean, that's
She
awesome.
still waits for an answer.
Oh, wow. So much characterization of a ship. I love it. Right, I forgot I was on a ship. Where's my railjack? Ah! Oh, other side. Nobody shoot me. Nobody shoot me. Nobody shoot me. Don't fly headlong into the ship. That hurts.
I'm getting used to it here. I can't smell the recycled air anymore, and the lights hardly ever.
Ooh. Oh, that was a lot.
Duty lingers, like pain in a phantom limb, like the voices of a crew long dead. The Tempestarii is suffering, searching for one final rescue. Saving us may enable her to complete her duty.
Oh, that's cool.
Another job well executed.
Who waits for the shadow? Possibility. Friend-foe identification protocol. Loading Orokin-era distress countersigns. Prepare to disengage Void Drive. Transmitting Orokin-era distress signal. Here goes nothing.
Whoa. Hello. Mr. Tempestarii? Can we be friends?
Your golden masters. Countersign unsatisfactory. Evasive maneuvers.
Uh-oh.
Attempting to reopen communications. Comms channel reopened. We, the lost souls. She hears us.
Okay. Is that good?
Tempestarii, all aboard are safe. Your mission complete. The Tempestarii has lowered shields. Crew, your presence is requested aboard the Tempestarii. You have been invited into an unknown realm. Tread lightly.
This is awesome. It's the same layout as my railjack. Oh, where am I going? Bridge? Yeah. Is this a Warframe? Oh, cool.
The Shadow. Concentrated void energy. He is not conventionally alive.
Define.
Their final rescue. The location data is corrupted. He cannot retrieve it. We can help.
Oh, that's so cool.
Data restored. Downloading coordinates. Brace.
Oh, hello,
Their
Captain.
shields are down.
Oh, she's the...
Sweet Zeno. You went and lulled the beast to sleep for me. How kind.
She's the character from the splash screen for the quest. I thought that was going to be someone good. Okay, what just
I
happened?
was working in an exosuit when the Tempestarii destroyed Lucretia platform. I drifted for days among the frozen fragments of my crew. My sisters.
Oh, is
I
she a soul
dreamed
survivor?
their dead, gaping mouths were singing with me yet.
Oh, here we go.
So it's into the void, now me girls
Oh.
and boys, from mother's hands we go. We'll be sailing to the sun till the voyage is done, then we'll be sleeping in the cold.
Oh, I
below.
love this.
Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yes, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below. Our sailing ships for the hard
said
and the
one.
quick, we roll our load and
Oh.
go.
Hello
There's
there.
a living to be made, or there's hell to pay when you're sleeping in the cold below. Sisters below.
Oh, so this is like her
going where the winds don't
revenge.
blow. Yes, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below. There's a man on high with the devil in his eye and a golden hand. I'm
Oh,
told.
it's the lights
It
are
can hurt you, it can hold you, he can
pulsing
kick you
with the
or
music.
console you when you're sleeping in the cold
Oh, yikes.
below. Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yes, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below.
What an awesome piece of music. Whoa!
Oh, sisters, you so wise and true. When it's my time to go, won't you lay
Oh, I love
me
the
down random crowns, and I'll be sleeping in the cold.
This is so cool.
Sleeping
The
in
drop down to
cold
just her.
below. Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yes, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold. Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yes, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the
Whoa.
cold below, below. Sleeping in the cold below, below. Sleeping in the cold below.
Oh, that's so
Today we
awesome.
sail on the solar rail.
Oh,
For there's much we just don't know. So farewell with a kiss, then it's fast for the mist, till we're all sleeping in the cold below.
oh, wow.
Multiphasic beams have
That's
the
so
Tempestarii
cool.
imprisoned. Solution: junk the beam generator.
Oh, it's another intro. Oh, I see.
My kind are the only monsters this system needs, Tenno. We have no time for old ghosts.
At least
I
you admit
shall
you
rip
are one.
that ship to pieces and eat its heart.
Objective: collapse the anchor field. I am in. Stay light on your feet. Countermeasures. Progress halted. Please assist. Progress halted. Jamming drones. Work complete. Bailing. Get to the override terminal.
Forget capture. We'll sift through the wreckage instead. Tracers locked? Engage.
Back to the Tempestarii. Now.
Yes, sir.
Tempestarii is charging unidentified countermeasures. Stay in range. SWAT down pests.
Sisters! Hear me! Bound them to hell and back by the hand. Harpo's himself.
We are part of this story. We have
Ooh.
entered the void. Search and
Wow. We just took out a capital ship?
must complete the Shadow's final mission.
Damn, this is cool.
Cephalon size report. Tempestarii. Final voyage. Today, a centuries-long journey ended. Together, we braved a turbulent void. Deep within, he who had been lost was found. Sevagoth, a Warframe believed lost to the void forever.
That's so cool.
His energy almost extinct. With his last spark of life, Sevagoth embraced his shadow once again, and both were at peace.
That's really cool. Oh. Oh, she survived. Barely, it would seem. Okay. Well, that's a whole other story implication.